try the viral 25 days Pilates challenge by Izzy. This is what I learned. Let's talk about what is this challenge. This challenge is basically just doing Pilates 25 days in a row. There is a playlist on YouTube by a creator named Izzy. You can check her out. I will have special rules in place because I cannot do 25 days in a row. My rule is that I have horse riding once a week, and on that day I will not be able to complete a workout. So technically there will be no rest day, because of course on the rest day I will also be working out because I will be going horse riding, but I will not be doing a Pilates workout on top of it because that's just burnout and death waiting to happen. So other than that, I will just do one workout every day except Mondays. Today is, let me think, today is Thursday and there's a storm outside. I love storms, so I just immediately opened all windows.
3 weeks later.
Hi beautiful people, my name is Alora, and in today's video I am going to talk about my experience of trying the 25 days Pilates challenge by Izzy. So firstly I am going to talk about the benefits of the challenge after completing the challenge, or like during compared to before, and secondly I am going to talk about the challenging parts, or the parts that I think you should pay attention to if you were to try this at home. The benefits of the challenge: after completing the challenge I feel much stronger. I can feel my body getting stronger by the day. It has contributed to me getting more muscle than I had previously, because I had like a very bad sickness before starting the challenge and I lost a lot of muscle, and now it's all back. Another benefit after completing it is that it teaches consistency and discipline, which is great because it kind of removes that big association of, oh, a workout has to be long, it has to be grueling, it has to be, I don't know, it's just so hard to start a workout. But after doing a workout every day for the past almost a month, it has kind of lost its intimidating quality. So it is now much easier for me to start working out because I know, okay, today I will have to do the workout eventually, I can just start. And also the workouts are not that long. I think the longest workout is 35 minutes, so it kind of fits into every schedule. Also, this is not a benefit of the challenge, but I like how it is a great form of exercise and the strengthening the muscles is very thorough. So if we focus on, for example, the glutes, then we focus on every aspect of the glute, and that's like made me realize how weak certain parts of my body are and how strong others are. For example, I really love Izzy's personality and style and how she keeps correcting and pointing out the correct form. This is always so important, and she makes sure to explain it clearly, where to step, where to feel the burn to avoid injuries. And I love that because that is not a thing that many online fitness influencers do, and I think it is very important. And I also love her sarcasm because it's like she's always like counting down, and just 5, 4, 3, and you are not standing up in 2. It's like, it's so funny. And I also love that there is no music under it or a timer, which kind of lets you forget the time. So it is kind of a like a more free environment, or like more free workout. And since you're not obsessing over what time it is, how long you have to do it, you kind of lose yourself in the workout and forget that it's supposed to be like grueling or a bad thing, you know? Now let's talk about the challenges or shortcomings, or like just general problems I've had with the challenge. This is not heavy or like strict criticism of Izzy as a person. I don't think this is not meant as a hate. This is just a, hey, if you're trying to do this challenge, please pay attention to these parts because it could be important to you. Firstly, I found it great that there is warm-up and stretching / cool down in the video. Since it is advertised as kind of like a workout video, most of the time you would need to do the warm-up and the cool down on your own. Yet in these videos there is some form of warm-up and cool-down already in it, which I found great. This is not an expectation of mine. This was not an expectation of mine because a workout video is generally just a workout, but I always find it cool if they implement some warm-up and cool-down. Yet, you have to pay attention to what your body needs, because the warm-up and stretching that is in the videos is not sufficient for a proper warm-up and cool-down. If you're young, it probably doesn't bother you as much, because I'm also young too, so there were days where I really just did the warm-up and cool-down that was shown in the video. I was fine, I had no injuries, but especially if you're a bit older than I am, in your 30s, in your 40s, even older maybe, or if you have like a history of injuries, just make sure that you warm up properly and that you stretch properly after, because that's what's in the video is not enough, sadly. And I have also felt like oftentimes the stretching after it was like stretching the wrong muscles. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's like not specifically stretching the muscles that we have worked on. So I also made sure to stretch down the muscles that were actually working that day in that exercise, in that workout. Just keep that in mind, that the stretching and warm-up in the videos are just there to kind of get you started, but you should do warm-up and stretching before and after on your own, or with another video that is targeted towards warm-up or stretching. Secondly, a challenge that is a personal challenge of mine was that my right wrist has been screaming at me almost non-stop, because my right wrist is generally weaker than the other one, because I use it much more, I draw a lot, or I write a lot, and so it is for some reason more susceptible to injury or like overextension. And since Pilates is a form of workout that depends very heavily on the wrists, all the kinds of push-ups, the planks, just the kneeling position where you're on all fours, it all puts a lot of strain on the wrist. So especially if you have weaker wrists, then make sure that you pay attention to it. And I really loved how Izzy also implemented some techniques that we could use if our wrists were hurting us, and I found it also to be very helpful. Similarly to the wrist thing, my legs/thighs cracked during ab exercises. I don't know if I'm the only one, and it is more often uncomfortable than not. I'm not sure what I can do to just not have it anymore, because it is always consistent. Okay, then another challenge that had nothing to do with the challenge in itself is that just it's summer right now where I live, and the temperature got very hot. So it was very like mild temperature, and then it got very hot. And since I don't have an AC or anything, I was dying in here. So the only times I could do my workout was either early in the morning or very, very late at night. Sometimes it would be even too hot and moist to do that. But well, the challenge is challenge, so I still pulled through, but it was like much more taxing on my body. And I think Izzy also mentioned multiple times in her videos that currently there is like 40 degrees Celsius where she lives, like in Australia, I think. And I think that's crazy, because I was not capable of doing workouts at 35 degrees Celsius here. Then we have personal kind of challenge with the workouts. I personally thought that some workouts were either way too hard or way too easy, but I recognize that this is just a me problem or like a me thing. I found that some workouts, especially the ab workouts, the upper body workouts, and the inner thigh workout, there was one inner thigh workout, were much easier than the others. And I recognized that the reason, especially for the inner thigh workout, was that I ride horses, so my inner thigh is pretty much solid. And then in the last day, I realized that I was not properly doing the ab workouts. Crunches, I was just not crunching hard enough, so that is also a me problem. This is also your sign. If you think something is too easy, then you're either doing it wrong or you're just an expert and you have too much muscle on there. But I thought that some workouts were so impossibly hard. For example, the wrist heavy planks and the push-ups. Like, I don't know, I think this challenge was for beginners, and like the second season of it is for intermediate people. I thought I cannot hold a plank for the life of me, like not the elbow plank but the full plank. I hate full planks. Firstly, it is very heavy on my wrists, which is always a bad thing. I hate it. Secondly, there were times where we would be in the plank for like, I don't know, 5 minutes at a time, but like with various exercises, and sometimes I would really just collapse. And then also the push-up exercises, especially the tricep push-up exercises. I'm not sure where she got the idea that I can do a tricep push-up. I can't. Like, yes, she also tells us to do it just as much, just so we don't have to do the full push-up, but it is enough if we only do as much as we can. But even then, I cannot do it for as long as she does it. I'm not sure if the challenge specified that it's beginner friendly anywhere, but push-ups are not my thing and full planks are also not my thing, so I found those incredibly challenging. So if you want to start the challenge, just make sure that you are prepared for very tough days, and for days where you are like, oh, I do kind of like that. The greatest example of how my body adapted to it was the glute, especially the glute exercises, because in the beginning I was dying. I could still do it, but it was so painful, and the last few glute exercises I was like, and then Izzy said in the video that she felt so refreshed, and it was so refreshing, and I actually agreed with her. Like, it was, and with the shoulder exercises as well, like it was nice to move them a little bit. Like, it was refreshing and I didn't die in it. So also another challenge that I have is that I got new trauma, and I am now afraid of the phrase "we're gonna add on." Other than this was my report back on the challenge. If you want to start the challenge yourself, then feel free to do so, because it is life-changing. I will now make sure to stick to my workouts regularly, because this made the difference between, I don't know, it made such a big difference, especially if you are prone to depression or prone to just being in a rut more often. I slowly got used to the idea of whatever happens today, it doesn't matter how bad they will be or how good it will be. The latest when I do my workout, I know I will be in a good mood because of it. So it was very nice to do, and I will definitely not stop working out. It has taught me a new level of consistency and a new level of discipline, and also kind of made me a Pilates addict, which is fine. I can totally deal with that. And thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, feel free to comment down below what you thought, and if you have done this challenge before, if you have heard of it, or if you're interested in trying it out. And subscribe. Keep shining. It was Alora speaking. Bye.